This episode is about soldiers or people making a difference.
You ever been bitten by an elephant, Sergeant Major?
I mean, you can only endure things that you don't enjoy for so long.
If you don't have a strong trunk, then the tree's not going to grow.
What kind of impact does it had on you?
I'm going straight up to the RCSM right now. Like, what do I do this time? I don't know.
Best response to that is a question, Sergeant Major. Why not?
Good afternoon, Dragoons, or morning, or evening, or whenever you're listening to this. This is Command Sergeant Major Burke. I want to give you an opening quote to kind of start this. We make the biggest difference with the small things that we do consistently over time. The reason I wanted to share that is because this episode is going to be talking about selfless service and taking the initiative. So in the room today, I have some individuals that I think kind of epitomize that from across the 2nd Cavalry Regiment. And I will let them introduce themselves, and we will go around the horn. We'll start with Staff Sgt. Larue.
I'm Staff Sgt. Larue, Platoon Sergeant in Quick Strike 4-2. 11 Bravo is my MOS, infantryman.
Infantryman, okay.
I'm Stephen Brailo. I'm a specialist in the United States Army. I'm part of Res 2CR. Apologize, I'm still kind of nervous, but I'm part of Chaos Troop, and I'm a 25 Quebec.
25 Quebec. It's a good thing that all the 11 Bravos are over here.
Roger.
All right, so we can keep you guys in our vision and make sure we can feint off any attacks. Now that we've actually went live with some podcasts, what was your initial thoughts when you got invited to come on?
For me, Sergeant Major?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be in trouble. I'm going straight up to the RCSM right now. Like, what do I do this time? I don't know.
What did you do this time? This time? Oh, boy. Okay. All right.
But being here, it's being able to be a part of the community, 2CR community. It's been phenomenal for me since I've arrived in Germany.
How long you been here?
I've been here since October 2019.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Bumped into Major Ambling.
Right.
And he's like, hey, track a Monday night. I'm like, I am now, sir. Let's go. Let's do this. And he's like, all right.
Oh, so what was your thoughts?
I'm always willing to help out where I can. He's like, hey, we just went to talk about how volunteering helps out the community and get more people interested in volunteering.
Perfect segue. Okay, so why were you selected to be here?
Okay, I was nominated for USAG Bavaria top volunteer for the year.
Okay.
With talking with Major Ambling, he was saying that he wants to get more people involved because a lot of soldiers, there's some soldiers that do volunteer, but there's a lot of soldiers that do not volunteer.
Where do you volunteer primarily at?
Mostly with the Bavarian Spouses Club with the thrift shops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I help out with thrift shops.
Special Brailo, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to beat just that, Sergeant.
So
maybe next year you might get at it.
Whoa. I didn't even realize that. You set this up. Oh, man. All right. Okay, go ahead. You know what they say. If you're not first,
you're last.
What? Oh, man. Go ahead.
I didn't say it. I did not say that.
All right, go ahead.
But, I was the USAG Bavaria Volunteer of the Year.
No big deal.
No big deal. Yeah, I'm very humble about it. I'm very thankful for the support group that I have around me, and it's been phenomenal. I can't ask for a better support group with the USO Graf and Camp Aachen and the Bavaria region. It's great.
So what you primarily work through the USO, correct?
Right.
Is that where most of your volunteer work comes from?
Yes, Sergeant Major.
Okay, awesome. Each one of these soldiers that's in here, has made a difference in some way. Volunteering on garrison activities, USO activities. It's an investment on your part, but it's also an investment in what you're doing and the individuals you bestow that upon. People tend to think that you got to try to change the world. Change the world, it's got to be these huge things. I disagree with that strongly. And I go back to my original kind of quote. It's the small things done consistently over time that make the biggest impact.
For me, Sergeant Major, I was talking to Lieutenant Colonel Harless, and he recommended a book called The Tipping Point by...
Oh, nice.
By Malcolm Gladwell, if I said his name correctly.
Correct.
I read it the first week that he mentioned it. I got it from the library because I'm a frugal man. I don't like spending money on a lot of things. Tipping point is like one little act. It can make a huge difference. And you might not see that difference at all, but seeing it right here at Staff Sgt. Larue, you never know what someone's doing for the community. And for me, it's a huge impact, regardless of how minute it might be.
Okay. What kind of impact has it had on you? Your work, obviously, you do it for others, but I think we'd all be lying to ourselves if we said we didn't get something out of it.
For me, it's...
Other than a big award.
To be honest, Sergeant Major, the word for me, it's more than that. It's the community that we represent as a whole.
Okay.
And being awarded that, it just shows the commitment that I have to the community, and also the community has in me. And having the community be on my back saying that, you know what, you did great. You're awesome. You helped us out, and here's a little thing that we appreciate for everything that you're doing on your free time.
Obviously you do it because you enjoy it. I mean, you can only endure things that you don't enjoy for so long, especially when you're talking about your free time. If you don't enjoy it, you know, you got to have some kind of motivation. Let's just be honest. It is us and whoever else listens to the podcast eventually. But everybody likes recognition. Everybody likes to be told, job well done. I think sometimes we forget that. Sometimes maybe we just kind of rush through that process of it. But that is a big part of it. But, you know, just simply telling somebody, hey, I really appreciate what you did there, man. You know, thank you for doing that. Okay, one thing I want you to think about, okay, and we'll come back. What does community mean to you? Why is that so important to you, and why is that such a driving factor? All right, we'll come back to that so you can kind of think about it a little bit, okay? Larue, why do you do what you do? Why do you volunteer? Why do you help out entire community the way you do?
Best response to that is a question, Sergeant Major. Why not? So
I don't have time.
Everyone has. Well, I don't know about your schedule, Sergeant Major. You're probably pretty busy with, you know.
I just tell people to get off the grass. That's all I really do.
No, in our profession, we always want to make ourselves better. We want to make our team better, our squad better, make our community better. And I just look where I can see if there's a void, see if I can't step into some of that void and make that void better, fill that void, and see where I can make whatever area I'm going into better.
Make people's lives better.
Exactly.
So, like, because you said you volunteered at the thrift shop, right?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, what does a thrift shop do? I mean,
they take donations in from the community on Vilsec and on Graph, and they sort donations, and then they resell to the on posts, and then all the proceeds from those sales go back to the community for scholarships and grants.
Oh wow!
So for soldiers and spouses and
I didn't know
dependents.
that
I didn't either. I didn't either.
Yeah, so all those proceeds go right back. So the units can get grants. There's a scholarship spring and fall semesters that all the active duty and dependents can apply for.
Holy crap! Yeah, I mean, I've donated some stuff to the thrift shop, and honestly, I just thought it was, you know, you gave stuff up and people could use it, you know, or people could purchase it, but I had no idea about the whole scholarship thing. That's huge. And I think the other reason that the thrift shop's kind of important here, because quite frankly, when my wife and I got here, we actually went to the thrift shop and we picked up a couple things, you know, some like coffee cups and plates and stuff. When you get here, you have the temp furniture, and that temp furniture is quality. So nice. Well, it is what it is, but it gets the job done at the end of the day, I suppose. You don't want to sit there and buy pots and pans and plates and all this other stuff, and you can go to the thrift shop and actually purchase them. Because I waited 72 days for my household goods after I arrived in Germany, you know, and that's a long time to go without all that stuff. So it's a great service. I did not know that about all that, the thrift shop. I think I'm gonna have to go clean out my garage and maybe donate a little bit more stuff to the thrift shop now that I know that piece. I think I have a washer and dryer. No, I'm not giving that up.
Nah, don't give that up.
The other piece that you said that really kind of stuck with me too is why not? I feel almost kind of, I don't want to say obligation, but a responsibility to make it better. To make people's lives better, you know, to make it better overall. I probably am going to butcher this. It was on one of my leaders' plaques, you know, as he was kind of going away, and it said, "Thank you for making us better, and you found us." And it's this concept of no matter what you're doing, if you're talking about your soldiers as a leader, or if you're talking about, you know, if you are staying somewhere, you're using somebody's vehicle, you leave it better than you found it. You know, you do something to make it better for the next person. And I think that applies to leadership, that applies to volunteering, you know, it just applies to so many different things. And more people need to be like that. It matters. It makes people's lives better. All right. I said I was going to come back to you. So community, talk to us about community. Why is that important to you?
I was born and raised in Hawaii. Having a close-knit community like that, it's different. The atmosphere there, I can't explain it. It's something that I can't even fathom at that point.
Well, you're on an island.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
you only have each other.
That's true.
You know,
and
if planes stop coming, boats stop coming,
that's it. You
that's
only
it.
have each other.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So I think it kind of forces that, so to speak.
It does. Coming from those type of roots, for me, it's translating that into just the career path and also the community as well. Having that, it's like a tree. If you don't have a strong trunk, then the tree's not going to grow. And for me, that's the community is where the basis is everything is. If you don't have a strong community, then your career is never going to progress. You're always going to go home expecting that, oh man, I'm going home, blah, blah, there's nothing around here for me. And then you're a Debbie Downer. You don't have that positive reinforcement consistently in your life. Me giving back to the community, being that one change, that's huge. I may not be able to change the whole world, but if I can change that person, that's their world, period.
Yeah, that's pretty profound. I like the conversation of how you spend your time and how it has a positive impact on you. And you know that you're helping the community. What do a lot of people do in their off time? Drink, play video games, go to clubs and stuff like that. What do they have for that at the end of the day? How does that make them better? How does that make them feel? Yeah, you have fun in the moment, but long term, it doesn't really do anything for you. When you work at the USO till 23, 2200 at night, you do all the different stuff that you're doing there and you make people smile. When you're done with your shift, your volunteer shift, you feel like you did something. You've served a purpose, so to speak, even in your off time. Being a soldier, wow, that's pretty purposeful, but doing it in your off time, that's even more, right?
Roger that.
We go back to what we were just talking about there, where how people spend their time. Why are you not doing what a lot of people do, where they just spend their time kind of on these things that provide this immediate gratification?
Stronger people are harder to kill. So hitting up the gym, getting stronger physically, getting stronger mentally, mental strength. A lot of people coming around trying to kill you all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Infantrymen, I'm messing with you. When you instill that drive to better themselves, then they're going to drive themselves to better their person to the left and right. Okay. And just exponentially from there.
Right. So you're making better people. You're not just making better soldiers. You're making better people. Right. So many things you just talked about right there. As a leader, you are making better people. And it's just like you said, they go off and they go to another unit, they carry that forward. Okay, that's great. That's great for the Army. But even if they get out of the Army, absolutely. Because here's the truth. Okay, and I tell people this when they ETS, I've done this for a very long time. It does not matter what rank you're leaving the Army as. Mm-hmm. You leave as a specialist, a PFC, sergeant, staff sergeant, whatever rank. Once people look at you and they know you were in the military, they're going to think you're a leader because just the natural kind of aura that the Army has. And you're either going to live up to that or you're not. But at the end of the day, you represent the United States Army, even out of uniform. We have the USO. We have some of these things because there was a need created for them. We needed to find a way to occupy soldiers' time on post. We needed to be there in the time of need for families, and provide them amenities that might not be able to get on their own without a significant cost to themselves. That's why all these different things, they were started by somebody that was trying to make a difference. They were started by somebody that was trying to do something right for the betterment of mankind, so to speak. Okay, wow, that's, getting really high there. But, it's true, though.
Just hitting back on, you're talking about here, where the soldiers, emptying their paychecks, not getting anything out of it, just a quick woohoo, that night. If we're as leaders, able to influence them to go have a passport and experience Europe. We're so lucky to be here in USG Bavaria, where we could just, put a pass in and go to whatever country we could that we clear, get cleared for, depending on what echelon you're at. Spend your money there, experiencing Europe, getting that culture. Some of those privates, they may be in a really small community with graduating class of 20 and they have nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I had a graduating class of 23, so I made yourself.
I don't remember. So it was 1998. I don't remember. Well, they actually combined like a bunch of schools together for our graduation. So I really don't remember. Oh, you're sitting there talking about experiences and memories and everything else, and the USO, is a great place for people to congregate, meet people that they might not normally meet. There's one thing that I was thinking about. So I was up in Garmisch. It was because 2CR's hockey team was playing a tournament up there, right? And so we went to the slopes one day right there, and there was a team leader there. One of the team leaders, I think he was from 2nd Squadron, if I remember right. And with him was his entire squad, all his privates and everything else. And he taught them how to ski or snowboard, whatever it was that they, wanted to do for that entire weekend. There's so many experiences to have over here. But after your after your time's done here, what are you going to have to remember it? How are you going to remember your time here? How long you been here right now?
Just over 3 years. I mean,
well, 3 years.
Yeah.
Why are you not gone?
COVID.
Oh, all right. Well, no. All right. That's good. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Well, what are you going to remember about your time here?
The high op tempo, but also the time off where we're able to just travel and experience Europe with my wife.
Okay.
And it's like, it's a 4-day weekend. Let's go get some sangria. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We fly to Madrid.
Yeah.
Just drop of the hat.
Madrid's awesome.
That's awesome city.
Yeah, it is.
Just a phenomenal experience and opportunities here that soldiers should take, not just can take, but should take.
Right.
So they're not just going to downtown Vilseck where they can walk to the club and just waste their paycheck on, German beer.
Yeah. At least, the German beer is good. We'll all admit that.
You're not wrong.
Yep,
You're not wrong.
But, there could be memories that are created that'll last a lifetime. You won't remember that club. No, you don't. We won't remember that person you danced with 10 years from now.
Or just walking out to the local fest, the Kierwas,
everything
like that. Yeah. Just having that, going back to that sense of community.
Yeah.
Because you see all the locals dressing up in their dindels and lederhosen and having that sense of community. And
do you have a lederhosen?
I do, Sergeant.
Hell yeah. Do you?
Not yet, Sergeant.
Oh, man. That's a lot of fun. P-flaps are a little interesting, but whatever. Okay. How long you been here?
I've been here since October 2019, Sergeant Major.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me that.
So about, I think, 8 months now.
Yeah. So, but other than the COVID part, what's been important to you? What do you think you're going to remember so far?
I think what I'll remember so far is just knowing that a lot of my friends back home in Hawaii, that they can't experience this type of culture here. And it's kind of sad because they only see pictures that I sent back home. There's thousands of miles away on a volcano on Oahu, and they can never see they can never see, like, unless they spend like thousands and thousands of dollars just to travel from there to Europe.
Yeah. And you can literally go
anywhere.
Yeah.
On a train for like €30. And it's crazy because I've been on the Amtrak before.
Right.
Where it's like 60 miles per hour. The ones here, they go 200, almost 300 kilometers an hour. And I was like, oh my God. I was like scared the first time using it. But it's great. And I'm super blessed to be here, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So the biggest question of the day, why do you have such a ginormous water source?
I get that question a lot, Sergeant Major.
Did you see this thing?
Massive. That's ridiculous.
It's a 5-quart.
Yeah.
But I carry it around everywhere. It's basically my artillery shell. I got it back at Fort Carson. I found it in the training field area, basically.
That's how you get COVID.
That's the
patient that started COVID.
Patient zero.
Patient zero.
But I try to stay hydrated as much as I can.
How many of those you drink a day?
Yeah, I usually drink the whole thing in a day.
How much does it hold?
Uh,
He's picking it up and looking at the bottom.
3.79 liters.
That's almost a gallon, right?
Yeah.
Or is that more than a gallon?
I think it's almost a gallon.
Jesus, it's a lot of water. Anyway, okay, I don't know why I decided to talk about that, but it's been catching my eye. So, with COVID and everything that we've been through, how have you found a way? Because, I don't think the thrift shop's been open, has it?
No, they've been,
they've been closed. USO's been closed.
They've been closed.
So how have you found a way to make a difference since kind of the onset of COVID?
I've been volunteering with the Quick Strike FRG.
Okay.
And then so on the weekends, I'll make some food and bring it to the guys in the barracks.
Oh, okay.
Or that we'll do a work day. So that's just a very few numbers in the thrift shops. And we'll, a bunch of the ladies will actually go in and just sort through the donations that's been continually donating through the COVID. That way, when they open the stores back up, everything's already priced, ready to go out, and then we get more money back to the community.
Okay. How about you? What have you been doing since life changed drastically?
It changed drastically. For me, me and my roommate, Specialist Flax, we created a video for the USO
Okay.
And I'm very big into sandbag training.
Oh, okay.
And so I ordered some rubber mulch from Amazon. It was like $30 for 80 pounds. And I used one of the green Army duffel bags that you can get. You can buy it at the Clothing and Sales. I had an extra one.
Yeah. Well, I got freaking more duffel bags than I know what to do with. That's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. You sit there and make your own.
And we made a video on how to make our own. And I call her Big Bertha because she does a lot of pain for me when I work out with her. And
how much does it weigh?
80 pounds. Well, I think it's like 85 now.
Is that just one that you use?
So I bought one with sand with it. Or you can use dirt, soil, whatever you can find that can conform to your body.
Right.
So the Big Bertha is 85 pounds, and then the other one's about 70.
You got to bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers right there.
You say that now, Sergeant Major.
Apparently you have not seen some of the 2CR workout photos.
Oh, I haven't.
What?
Mm-mm.
How? All right. Well, no, that's good. I'd come do a workout with you.
I'll do one with you. I think you're top tier. I'm probably like below middle tier.
I'm also old. I have a lot of miles on these old feet. So, okay. In little ways, try to make a difference. You try to do things that help those, your roommate around you, the soldiers within the barracks, through FRG, gives them a purpose. It's always easier, for kind of those support agencies, the FRG, but quite frankly, even the USOs or any of them, when they have a green suitor that can kind of help them through the process. And they're always going to kind of get that tie-in into the organization a little bit more. Even the FRGs, even though it's our spouses, they still, that green suitor kind of helps facilitate that function. What would be your advice for anybody listening to the podcast, what kind of mentality they maybe need to have, or what they need to kind of do to make a difference, even the smallest scale, and how they can kind of build up from that?
For me, it's something simple. When I come to the table, I want to eat, but I don't want to eat alone. The people I surround myself around with, I want them to eat with me too. So when I come to the table, I'm starving, I'm hungry. They're going to be hungry too.
Right.
And when we all come to the table, we're all going to eat and reap the benefits that we worked so hard to accomplish.
That's an interesting analogy. I like it though. Well, how do you get the people to the table? What's some of the things you do to, get other people involved?
It can be someone in a passing by. If you can tell body language, their face, they've been down, and just talking to them. Yeah. You're like, hey, where are you from? Or how's your day going? Some simple stuff.
So just a positive interaction.
Just that interaction, you'll never know how much of an impact they'll make at the end of the day. You never know.
Absolutely.
Because when they go to their room or their house, they're like, man, that one person, they really brighten my day. I'm going to do better, do something. Yeah. That one little impact, that tipping point is what's going to make that huge impact.
So having that kind of outreach, even in face masks, 6 foot distancing, but you can still have that positive impact on people. Definitely. Something that I've done, as I've kind of went around, and especially like on the weekends, and I see soldiers working out on the beaver fits, which was probably the best investment 2CR ever made in the history of time. We never thought they would get used quite like they did. We knew they would be used, but wow, they're really getting used. I mean,
whoever got that, they need to
Major Hefty.
MSM right there. Boom, right on the spot.
Well, yeah, that was part of Major Hefty's MSM.
That's awesome.
So what I tell them is, hey, next time you come out here, grab somebody. Grab a soldier that maybe doesn't work out a lot or doesn't know how to work out, or, you kind of see them, they're not out and about a lot, and bring them out with you next time. Bring them out tomorrow and work out with them. Show them how to work out. It's very easy to do when it's a soldier in your squad too. So, okay. How about you, Larue?
Kind of been hit on already, but just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Small, simple steps. You ever been bitten by an elephant, Sergeant Major? It's the small things that'll kill you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
the way the whole thing goes is, have you ever been bit by an elephant?
No. Nope.
Have you ever been bit by an ant?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. See, it's the small things that get you.
Yeah. You go bouncing off that ant, itty bitty thing can carry multiple times its own body weight because it's just able to.
Yeah.
And then builds up a huge anthill and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas an elephant's just lumbering along and really doesn't build.
Yeah, what the hell do elephants even do? I mean, really, at the end of the
day. The ants, they have that community, that anthill, and keeping it all tight niche. So,
the people sitting back there like, what the is he talking about? Okay.
But yeah, just keep it simple. Just build yourself up, and then build your person to your left and right back up, and keep being that competitive.
So I'd leave you with this last thing, and I swear I wrote this down before, okay, but it's amazing, the things that you guys kind of hit on as we were going through this. Start small with one person, yourself. Stop trying to change the world. Focus on changing a small piece of it, one action at a time. These changes may take time, but eventually they will come to fruition. So we kind of wrap this up. First, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully you kind of took some things away. You definitely provided some great insight that I think, people that eventually will listen to this, maybe it'll give them some things to think about, and how you as individual soldiers, whether we're talking about volunteering, we're talking about working out, we're talking about being part of this community, investing in their profession, investing in playing it forward, passing it along, whether it's for their future in the Army or for the betterment of the community or the garrison kind of as a whole. Hopefully that's what people take away from this kind of podcast. This is Dragoon 7 signing off.